I'm not really sure what I just watched.
Groovy.
Last night I went and saw Halloween Ends. There was only one theater near me playing it, so I had to go a town over to go see this thing Thursday night. And I'm so conflicted. In my opinion, the movie opened up strong. We get introduced to this Corey character, Corey Cunningham. And he's not really I don't dislike him. I actually, throughout the film, I do enjoy the character himself. He was likable enough. I liked the actor. I liked what he was doing with it. And the opening itself kind of sold me on the film. He seems like a nice enough kid. He's just trying to save up some money so he can, put himself through school or whatever. And so he's doing some babysitting gigs. That took a fucking turn because, for one thing, that little kid's a bastard. But, the whole fucking, kicking down the door, drop kicking the kid over the hook. That was rough, man. That opening had me like, oh shit. Woo! Right from then I knew that this movie was gonna be fucking weird. This movie was gonna be off the tracks a little bit. And I felt like I was fully prepared for that. I felt like I could totally accept that. Like, okay, we've had enough of the same thing, the same formula over and over and over again. I'm up for them to throw us a curveball. So right from the get-go with that opening, I was fully embracing that idea, totally prepared. I had already heard that this thing was being, had already become pretty divisive, in early reviews. But I was fully prepared for that. Went in with an open mind, ready. But then we just get after that opening, we just kind of get like an hour of fuck. Like an hour of building this new character, Corey, and catching up with Laurie and Allison. The thing is that this movie, for me, and this is just me, this is my personal opinion, I feel like this is for sure going to have a cult following. I feel like there are going to be people who absolutely love this movie, and that's great. I am so conflicted, though. I feel like if Corey, because I really like the character, the problem I have is I feel like if Corey was a main character from Halloween 2018 who carried over into Kills, survived both films, and then this film opened up with the opening it has. We're like, oh, we're catching up with Corey. What's going on here? Fuck. This might be one of my favorite movies, maybe. One of my favorite Halloween movies. But that's not the case. Instead, they spend the whole first chunk of this movie trying to get you to empathize with Corey, trying to get you to feel like you know him and know his story. And it works. It does work. For me, it worked. I felt like I got to know the character. I really enjoyed the character. I felt bad for him. I was angry at the people who were treating him badly. By the way, though, no offense to any people who are in band or were in band or whatever, but how is this fool getting bullied by band dorks? I mean, don't get me wrong. I at first I was thinking, okay, he just doesn't really want to get in a confrontation because of his, his history. He can't really afford to have that sort of negative light shined on him, right? But then eventually when we get to the scene at the bridge, when the bullies kind of fucking come back around, those fucking dorks, dude. At that point, Corey was like, fuck this, I've had enough. But then they just kind of punk him. And I'm just left wondering, what a weird decision for the bully characters. I could see, maybe some dudes in their, 30s, some shitty, redneck characters that are, pissed off at the guy because he, got out of, the trouble that he was in after the kid was killed. I feel like that would have made more sense. I feel like a young dude in his position getting threatened and bullied by these older men, now that would be sort of frightening. They did not do that, though. There's some other things about this movie that just didn't feel right to me, dude. Michael himself almost feels like an afterthought. This certainly doesn't feel like a Myers movie per se. It just, he definitely feels kind of tacked on. And Haddonfield doesn't feel like Haddonfield. It feels so, it's so bizarre. It just does not feel like the town. It feels like it's somewhere else entirely. And Corey and Michael's relationship is so bizarre. And the whole thing where, you know, when he grabs him by the throat and they like look into each other's eyes. What the fuck happened? I'm still trying to understand. Like, there's a lot of metaphors and stuff in this movie, but I'm sorry, there's some things I have to fucking take literally. What was happening? Did Michael read the motherfucker's mind? Is that what was happening? Or did he like project his evil into him? Did he awaken something inside of Corey? Is this something supernatural? It's just so fucking, it doesn't fit. It absolutely does not fit the last two films. It's so strange. Though I will say something that I actually liked that I never really thought I would have liked. In fact, I actually really enjoyed it, but it still feels kind of dirty. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right, but I liked it. The fucking like tag team murder going on between Corey and Michael. That was interesting. First, you know, Corey leads the cop into the sewer, and that whole thing where he's like, you know, show me how to do it, show me how it's done, kind of a thing, and he holds the motherfucker down while Michael just stabs him to death, basically comes in his pants. It's just so, what the fuck, man? I don't even think I could be mad at that, because I did enjoy that. Same with the scene when they go to kill the doctor and, you know, fucking, Nurse Big Tits or whatever. That as well was, I liked that. I liked that scene. I thought that was fucking crazy. I don't know, something about that worked for me. Now again, all of this would have been so much more effective if Corey had been a character for the last two movies. If that were the case, this shit would have been so much more effective. But for them to just derail like this for this movie, I don't know. But I did enjoy those scenes. I liked seeing Michael and Corey kind of work together, but at the same time, I didn't. Like, this whole movie is just a big conflicting fuckery. It's a big fucking fuck. Really felt weird that, you know, Laurie could like sense the evil on Corey. That was strange. Speaking of Laurie, this just isn't Laurie's movie. That's another problem I have. This whole thing was like campaigned as like the final battle. It's been 40 plus fucking years and finally Halloween ends. You know, I felt like we were promised this final ultimate showdown between Laurie and Michael. Dude, we got that showdown in 2018 because this was not it. And Halloween Kills certainly wasn't it. But this, the ending fight between Michael and Laurie, what a fucking letdown. I'm hearing some people really enjoyed it. I don't know how. That is something I don't understand, because it was so fucking not it, dude. It was not it. I don't know what happened here. So when Corey goes out on his own killing, for instance, when he like the bullies, the fucking the band guys, when he kind of lures them to the junkyard and fucks their day up, that was sweet. I liked seeing Corey take on the mantle of Michael in some of those scenes, which is weird. Again, that was something that I did not think I would like. I liked. That worked for me. That part of the story, the way that was done in the film, it worked for me. I could get behind that. But again, if Corey was already established from the last two films, it would have been so much more effective. This would have been like a crazy entry in the Halloween movies. But the fact that Corey is this new character, it just doesn't hold as much weight. It doesn't hold nearly as much weight. It's such a bummer that they didn't have this idea from the start. If they did, they really could have fucking pulled this off. For me, they did not. You know, in Corey's end, it didn't feel satisfactory to me either. I don't know how you would have fucking ended that character's, you know, how you would have even ended that character's arc anyways. I guess him stabbing himself in the throat and then getting choked to death by Michael is as good as any demise. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Stop Michael from you know, killing Laurie, I guess. I'm not sure, but Michael wasn't having it, you know. You choked that little bitch. And, you know, when it comes to Allison, Allison was so annoying in this movie. Compared to the last two movies, I just didn't really like Allison in this movie at all. She did not work for me. It was odd. Her and Corey's relationship in general was strange because the whole thing, I mean, the movie after the time skip, after the opening with Corey, you know, we jump ahead to October, and then the whole rest of the movie takes place in there. But like Corey and Allison just becomes such a fucking thing, and it's hard to buy, really. Like, I don't really buy it, but they did it. And Allison just became annoying and ungrateful. I don't know. I just didn't really vibe with the character this time. And the ending, dude, again, I am left feeling so unsatisfied and conflicted. It was so kind of laughable. Like, the whole thing, tying Michael to the fucking top of the car and then, you know, being like, oh, you know, we can't do this, like, you know, this is like illegal and shit, and fucking what's-his-face shows up, not tonight, it's not, you know, and they fucking parade around the town like a literal fucking parade with Michael's carcass on top of the car like some fucking prized buck or something. It was so fucking weird. And like the whole town gathered. It was like the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. All the fucking Who's came down around the fucking Christmas tree singing their little fucking song as Michael got thrown into the mechanical grinder. What the fuck? What kind of ending was that? What a weird fucking move, dude. It was so fucking peculiar. Oh, and throughout the whole movie, Jamie Lee Curtis is narrating this film as Laurie writing her book. And it was like, there was some cringy shit there. I don't know, but the beginning had me, and then it ended with the fucking Whoville sing along around the fucking, you know, mechanical grinder, and that's where that lies. All in all, I almost kind of wish I didn't go see this in theaters. So, I mean, what does that say for me? I guess I didn't hate this movie. I did not hate this movie. I feel like they missed a mark, though. For me, it's a disappointment because I shouldn't feel this conflicted. But that's me. Some people are probably going to love this fucking movie, and that's cool. Certain things work for certain people. This did not work for me, but it almost did. It would have. It would have if Corey had been an established character from the very beginning. If Corey was there in 2018, this would have worked for me, I think. But unfortunately, that's not the case, and this didn't do it for me. So how'd you feel about Halloween Ends? Did you regret seeing it in theaters? Did you stream it? Were you satisfied? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Tell me what you think down below. Don't forget to stab that like button, /subscribe, and get that bell notification. Later.